Morningstar has recently released some new reports and ratings for our ETFs. These will be available on our retail website. To talk to us a little bit about the changes, I'm joined by Morningstar's Tim Murphy. Tim, welcome.
Thanks, Christine.
Tim, so can you tell us a little bit about the changes to these ratings on ETFs?
Yep, so we've rejigged the way that we're doing our ETF ratings for a couple of reasons. Firstly, we've added an extra level of granularity to the rating scale, which I'll talk about shortly. But secondly, we've also brought it in line with our managed fund rating scale. Increasingly, investors are ambivalent between the vehicle that they want to invest in, whether that's an ETF, a managed fund, a direct equity, whatnot. So we've changed the rating scale on our ETF research to make it consistent with our managed fund research ratings.
Tim, if we can delve a little further, you mentioned more granular rating. Can you please explain this a little further?
Yeah, so previously we had a rating scale of highly recommended and recommended for our best ideas, followed by investment grade and below. Now at the top end of the scale we've got three positive ratings. So previously we had two positive with highly recommended, recommended. Now we've got three positive ratings with gold, silver and bronze. So we're able to articulate our different levels of conviction in a bit more granular manner. And then what used to be called investment grade we're now calling neutral. Clearly that's funds where we think that they're okay and may meet or in or around their objective but don't really stand out from their peer group. So in the new rating scale you'll have gold at the top end, silver, bronze and then neutral, and then anything that we think is really flawed will have a rating of negative.
Tim, what about the new format to the ETF report? What are the changes there?
Yeah, so we've expanded the form and size of our ETF research report, which is exciting. So, for users of our research, you're now going to have more in-depth information, both in terms of the written research that we've done, exploring different elements of the construct, as well as the suitability of the ETFs. You're also going to have a lot more data visible on this. So we've really surfaced a lot of the useful information that we capture on both the underlying holdings of each of these ETFs, as well as different performance statistics as well. So a lot more of the sort of research text for you to read, as well as graphs and information to sort of bring that research to life for you. So certainly much more useful, much more value for users of our research.
Do all these new ratings and research reports apply to all the ETFs that Morningstar covers?
Yes, so every ETF that we research is in the new format of research now. So that's over 34 ETFs. As part of this, we've also launched research on fixed interest ETFs. So now we've got research across the broad asset class spectrum within the ETF universe. So one of the broadest offerings out there.
So how often will these changes be updated?
So our ratings we update on an annual cycle, in line with our regular sector review process. Look for that to happen, but equally too, if there are material changes throughout a year, so in the case of an ETF, if there's a change in index or some other material change affecting that particular ETF, then we revisit those ratings as soon as possible in that scenario.
Tim, thanks so much for your time again.
Thanks, Christine.